Hi everyone, so let's see what's in store for the month of October. We're going to do issue and advise. Okay, what I'm getting here is we have Queen of Swords as our issue and we have Ace of Coins as our advice. I'm going to draw another couple of cards to flesh out the advice. What I'm getting here is getting over things. The Queen of Swords is traditionally someone who has suffered, but in a sense has risen above that and has made a success of herself. She's quite focused and she can be quite ruthless. But I think her great quality is, her mind, of course, but also this survivor aspect that she has. And she hasn't allowed the bad things that have happened to her in her life, or the misfortunes, or whatever she has perceived as being a misfortune. She hasn't let that get on top of her. So this is our challenge for October, I think, is to deal with our wounds from the past a little bit. What's the advice? Groundedness, stay in the body. Page of Cups, be available to help from the unconscious, whether that's through dreams, through art, through meditation, or just through synchronicity and those messages that can come to us in our lives from all sorts of strange sources. And finally, the Chariot. Press on. We're advised to press on with our lives, to just buckle down and see if we can get ahead a bit. Toughen up a little bit, perhaps, at least when we're out in public, at least when we're taking on the world. Make sure we're wearing our armour and see if we can give ourselves what we need in terms of our lives out in the world when we're being assertive, to give ourselves a little bit of position, a little bit of strength, a little bit of the feeling of progress and success. That's the main reading for October, and I'm just going to do a quick weather forecast just to get a little bit of advice as to where we might direct our attention. We're only going to work with Major Arcana and Aces, so I'm going to hide everything else. And here's our weather forecast spread. I will tell you what immediately leaps out at me. These are priorities. I don't read these cards in detail. This is my own weather forecast spread, and I just use these to find out where to direct my attention, where, if you like, where the action is going to be, where the energy is going to be over the month of October. Communication, the third house. Make sure emails are answered. Make sure conversations are had that need to be had. Ninth house. A house of expansion, learning and philosophy. Make sure you read. Give your mind food. It could be reading, it could be taking in things like art or even entertainment, or it could be travel, anything that stimulates, anything that helps you to grow. Just feed yourself there. It is going to be a month where you will want to give some attention to your, what I call, career. That could just be your life in the outside world, the world outside of the four walls of where you live, your visibility, if you like. So there may be opportunities. It's not that you have to do what's set out in this weather forecast spread. It's just that there may be opportunities. So keep your eyes and your ears open. Don't retreat too much into the inner world, into the domestic world in October. And what can I say about this? It's also a month, I think, a month of work. It's a month of getting things done. It's a month of making sure that your body is in order, feeding yourself what you need to be fed, taking the vitamins you need, making sure your house is in order. You do the hoovering, you do the dusting, you tidy up a bit, and you do the work that needs to be done. Just keep everything ticking over. Turn up to work if you have a job. If you're self-employed, make sure you're feeding the energy and the hours into your projects. Lastly, the first house. And I would say again, number one, just give attention to yourself, center yourself. If you've got 5 minutes here and there, you may like to settle down and be quiet, have some silent time, have some meditation, go for a walk on your own. This is very much about your relationship with yourself. It may also be about your ideas and your beliefs about yourself, about who you are. So just be present with yourself. Just review how you've been feeling in the course of this year. Touch base. And if you can, select an idea of yourself which will carry you forward into the autumn, into the end of the year, and help you to function and to be strong. Okay, that was my weather forecast, and now as a kind of supplement to that, and on the subject of being strong and being healthy, I'm going to give you a little recipe for a superfood, a natural superfood supplement that I'm using in the autumn. I just want to spontaneously make a quick video for you because I just had a little bout of COVID, not a bad one. Did some research, and sure enough, turmeric is very good for when you've got COVID or when you're recovering, and honey is very good. And I know something you can do with turmeric and honey. So here it is. Wash the turmeric like this. And now grate the turmeric. I usually use a slightly finer grater than this, but this is the only one I've got access to today. So off we go. Turmeric is highly staining actually, so as you can see, as I've gone on, I've added progressive layers of protection to the worktop here because look what it's doing to my hands. It's not a disaster, but it will get everywhere and it will stain your worktops and your tea towels and things. Okay, so I've finished grating. My hands are now bright yellow, and that's the turmeric I've got. That was a fistful of turmeric. That's actually quite a lot. It's probably more than I need. I'll give some to a friend. This is organic turmeric. You can see that I didn't scrub it exactly. I just washed it lightly, and that's because this is going to ferment in the honey. So we want there to be some yeasts and natural bacteria on the surface, on the skin of the turmeric, because that's what causes the fermentation. I once bought a fistful of turmeric in a supermarket, and the lady said, "You can't buy that amount of turmeric." And sure enough, this is enough for hundreds of curries, but we're not making curry. So get a couple of jam jars, put the turmeric into the jam jar. Now this is where it starts getting fun. Take some honey, and ladies and gentlemen, this should be organic honey, but there again, I'm a bit restricted at the moment. I'm in London for a brief visit, and I'm not at home, and I'm not going to my normal shops, but I do want to get well, so I've just got the nicest looking honey I could find from the local supermarket. Pour the honey onto the turmeric. Isn't that great? Let's do half-half. It hardly matters how we do it. It's just turmeric and honey, two of the nicest things that there are, in a lovely, super nice recipe. Okay, so, you know, mix them together so that they're, you know, connected. I mean, the thing is that some people don't like the taste of turmeric particularly. It's quite a strong taste. And the other thing is that they do say that it's raw turmeric that you need to eat. So you can add these grated bits of raw turmeric to your rice after you've cooked it and before you serve your curry. But I think this dish, grated turmeric in honey, is very nice. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to ferment slightly, you know, and fermentation involves a bit of bubbles, and the taste isn't really going to change very much. But because it's going to ferment, and because we're not going to start doing anything complicated like weighing it down with glass weights or something, you will need to stir this every day. And it's really no hardship, because every day you can stir it and you can have some of it, you know. You can have some of it with your breakfast. And after about a week, it'll be slightly fermented. And I think that'll make it even more healthy. Now, as I say, normally I would have grated this a little bit finer than that. So this might, you know, test your taste buds a bit. It might be a bit strong, but you know, I'm going to eat it. I'm tough, and I'm going to get well really soon. Okay. Okay, everyone, I'm back, and I've been to the shops, and I want to correct my error here. We have some black pepper. It absolutely has to go in, because black pepper activates the active ingredients of, you know, turmeric. I'll confess, I decided to put all my stuff into one jam jar because the jam jar did seem to hold it. I've got here about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. That might be too much. Let's put it down to about a sixth or an eighth. But don't be scared. The black pepper is important. And let's mix it in. We're only going to eat this in very small quantities, mixed in with a, you know, a tablespoon or two of yogurt. And if it doesn't bother you, you can put that on your breakfast muesli or cornflakes. Okay, so there's our fully activated, lick the spoon, our fully activated turmeric and honey. Get well soon.